What is up there, everybody? It is Odin here on the Sunday evening. It has been a bit since I uploaded a video. It's actually been 2 weeks to be precise. 2 weeks ago, on a Sunday, I uploaded my last video, and going radio silent for 2 weeks went virtually unnoticed by the world at large. But nonetheless, it feels good to me to be back here making another video. Partially because, I don't know, something cathartic about pretending there's somebody on the other end listening to what I'm saying. Uninterrupted, by the way. No asshole giving me lip about their opinions on what the fuck I should be doing or whatever. It is just me talking into a camera, but it feels like you who are listening are right there with me. You just cannot rebut. You cannot retort. You cannot say the point is moot, as Jesse Jackson would. I don't know if anybody remembers that. An old SNL clip. The point is moot. It was Jesse Jackson's retort. Anyway. What a 2 weeks it's been since I uploaded a video. I mean, I don't have a ton to talk about, but so we'll try to make this kind of quick. This weekend was a busy one. I spent the entire weekend packing, sorting, getting ready for this big move that is coming up. I don't know exactly when. I just know, or I don't even know that. I'm assuming by the end of the summer. But all I know is that my kids are not flying back to Spokane before I move. So I went through all their rooms, packed up everything, sorted everything, went through all their stuff, which was an extremely emotional, somewhat bittersweet moment. It was great to get some things done and get some progress. And I went through their rooms because that is the least likely that I'm going to need in the time being. You know, it's like, and they're not going to be here. Those are just sitting dormant. Let's get those all packed up. So their rooms are empty, and my living room is full of shit. But I got like 3 big areas. I've got Goodwill, dump, and keep. And the keep pile is by far the smallest. But there was a lot of things going through their stuff, like some of the stuff in the room was like, I remember where we were when we got it, or, it was like drawings. I remember what we were doing when they drew it, and, made me miss them. But also this weekend, because I had so much going on, and I'm so preoccupied with this move and with getting Unconditional Shove Volume 1 finished and out the door, which, by the way, is so very close. I know I say that all the time, but it is so very close. James is doing lettering, but because he is also doing the edits, we work, back and forth, trying to make things as awesome as possible. And the first story, Monsters Exist, has a lot of moving parts. And as we kind of go, maybe we should do this, and that'll be better. And then it's like the butterfly effect. Once you mess with one thing, they're like, oh, wait, that fucks with this part of the story. So, that said, there's a lot of moving parts to Monsters Exist. More than most short stories, because that one was originally going to be a ongoing series at one time. With Friends Like These, is so much more cut and dry, and so that one should be just smooth, and that's the second one, and he's starting on that, so it should be very soon now. And what I really want is to have the digital ready so I can send it out to the people who backed the Unconditional Fanny Pack, the original art tier, because I want to be able to set aside the art that they so graciously threw down, hefty chunk of change to procure, and I'm very excited to get those out so I can get their feedback too, like, which page do you want? And they're like, oh, I love this page, like, that's cool to me. So I'm really looking forward to that. Plus, I've mentioned it many times, like, this campaign will stay open until we go to print, and we're getting really close. So if you have not backed Unconditional Shove Volume 1, for one, what the heck's wrong with you? What are you waiting for? You have very, very limited time. I don't know how much time, but I can't put an exact date on it just yet. I just know it's coming soon. Now, that said, you could wait. When I launch Volume 2, we'll have a catch-up tier. But the problem is you're getting a second printing of the book, and to me, I don't like sloppy seconds. It's not what I'm about. I don't think that's what you want. So I would say, get in now on the ground floor. Be part of history. I know it's not big history, but it's history. Be part of history and get in on the ground floor and back it today. You don't have much time. It's going bye-bye. That said, like I keep saying it, we're very close. We are very close. Where was I going with that? I've been so busy with making sure Shove is ready to go and working with James on Kill Them Dead and preparing to move that this weekend snuck up on me, and I saw some posts about it, and I went, shit. Today, or this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, it was Lilac City Comic Con, which is Spokane's con, and people were posting stuff, and I was like, there was a time earlier in the year when I didn't think I was moving, that I was like, I want to have a booth, and I want to sell Shove, which I thought would be done by then, and I want to sell Magnificent Bastards, and we talked about James maybe flying out to Spokane, and I've got a place for you, man. I got a couch you can sleep on. But there was times when there was talks of that, so I was like all hyped up for Lilac City Comic Con at one time, and now just the winds of change shifted my focus, and then the con snuck up on me. I couldn't even go. And even if I went, it would feel unproductive because I'm unprepared. I didn't have like business cards ready, and there's a lot of things. I'm like, even if I win, I don't have a booth. I should spread the flesh and do some things, but I just was so unprepared, and I was so focused all week that this weekend I was going to get a lot done, and it was just bittersweet because it was cool to see the con had gotten bigger. They added a whole extra floor at the convention center of booths, and I thought that was cool. And what was really cool was we follow each other on Twitter. I've subscribed to his YouTube channel, and I've watched a lot of updates about the book he's working on. But he's a fella, but like his Twitter handle and his YouTube page are called Lion Mill Studio. LionMill. Lion Mill Studio. And he's got this really cool book coming out that he's working on called Cascadia. And it's all hand-drawn, hand-painted. Everything I saw, I don't know how I found him. Stumbled across it, and I was like, dude, this looks great. I was really excited. I'm definitely going to be a backer of his book. It's even though it doesn't look like my normal style, I appreciate what he's doing. Well, he posts a video. Here's me at Lilac City Comic Con. And I'm like, oh shit, he's just walking around. He doesn't have a booth. Even if he had a booth, that'd be cool. But, takes me a sec. But I put two and two together, and I was like, he lives in Spokane. So I hit him up. I'm like, you're in Spokane? That's fucking cool. And he's like, yeah. And then I was like, dude, we should grab a beer sometime. Commiserate about creating comics as an independent creator. But he's like, well, ain't that some shit? I finally meet somebody in Spokane, and they're moving. Because I told him I was moving. I'm like, yeah. It does suck, Not that I'm super attached to Spokane, but there was a time when I was starting to really come to grips with getting attached to Spokane. And just when I kind of really settled that in my head, that's when I was like, no, time to move to Missouri. So it is what it is. And then, so that was the weekend. Like, I had to miss. I got a lot of shit done, but I had to miss Comic-Con. The other thing, so I met a girl last weekend at my friend's barbecue, and we had a great time. And then she invited me. She lives in Montana. She invited me to come out to her place and go jet skiing and hang out the entire weekend, and because she's all about jet skiing apparently. I was like, well, that sounds like a lot of fun, but I had to pass on that because I was like, I feel unsettled. Like, I haven't done anything to prepare for this move, and I've got the comic lingering, and I've got the move lingering, and everything's just kind of lingering in limbo. And I know all these big changes are coming. I'm gonna get the book out, which will be like this most amazing moment for me personally, and I'm really hoping people love it and all this kind of stuff. But then also, like, I won't be able to like revel in that very long. You know, I'm gonna be like straight into like moving across the country, and but I was feeling so unsettled. I'm like, I gotta get something done. I've got to feel like I'm making progress, because once I start that, especially because my living room's just full of piles of shit, like, that reminds me, like, this is actually happening. You got to get on the ball and start doing things. But I knew I wanted to wait till after fulfillment for Shove, so nothing's gonna happen to that. And then my buddy, same buddy I had the barbecue, is getting married on July 1st, and I'm officiating the wedding, so I definitely have to be here for that. And yeah, just a lot going on. So I'm like, but I was feeling so unsettled because everything's like future. And I'm like, what can I do now? Well, you can start packing, you dumbass. You can forego going to Comic-Con. You can forego having a nice weekend with a beautiful girl. You can forego all this stuff because you know exactly what's going on. Just make things happen that you know need to happen, and so that's where we're at. But that's it. We're working on Volume 2. So outside of that other stuff, I have to draw. Like, I have to be working on something comic-wise, which is like zen. You know, that's cathartic. It's important. So this is page 3. So it's been 2 weeks, but even still, it's kind of slow going. But I've got... So this was page 1 that I was on the last video working on. And this thing always skis everything. So I gotta, like, lift it up because of the angle of my drafting table. Page 1 for this story that's appearing in Unconditional Shove Volume 2. Here's page 2. Again, I'll hold it up so it's not skewed. And I'm not afraid to, you know, people are weird about spoilers and stuff. I'm like, you don't know what's going on. You can probably piece it together if you want to be real smart ass. That's great. But, yeah, and then mostly finished page 3 here. So that's what I've been working on. And then, what else? I did this one. This is for my friend T Bunny. He's got a book in Sign Up Now called Community Service, and the main character, this guy here, is Ironsides. And apparently Ironsides' right arm is some kind of amazing metal that can't be chinked or tarnished or cut or scratched or destroyed in any way. So I told Cooper that I would do a drawing for him, and then I was like, what do you want? You know, just tell me what you want. And he was like, this character Ironsides, his main character, is kind of a philanthropic, you know, like he really cares about, he's very patriotic, very cares about community. I mean, it's called Community Service. So he's doing this fundraiser which is scratch the arm. Put a scratch in the arm. $5 a try. And, if you can put a scratch in it, you get $10,000 or something. So then there's all these people lining up with their bladed weapons trying to... So that was the idea. Well, he's just sitting there nonchalantly reading a book with his reading glasses. That was T-Bunny's concept, and I was like, yeah, I could draw that for you. So I worked on that too. So, non-BCC stuff, let's say, go sign up for community service. If you don't know, go check out Telepathic Bunny. His sign-up page should be his pinned tweet, I'm imagining. And go sign up for that. And then check out Lion Mill Studio, also on Twitter and YouTube. Both of them are on Twitter and YouTube. And you'll get all the updates and everything. Cascadia is not in sign up or anything yet. He's just working on it, but it looks great. I'm really excited for it. So follow him. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He does a lot of cool process videos that are fun, and seems like a really cool dude. And the book looks great. So excited for both of those. In Broken Compass Comics news, we could talk about that. The big thing we've been talking about a lot lately is Kill Them Dead. I gave you the Shove updates. Just real quick, Unconditional Shove Volume 2. We'll probably start signups towards the end of the summer like we did last year. It's looking to be an annual book. And so we'll start signups later this summer. But what we have going on now is Kill Them Dead is in signups on Kickstarter. And if you don't follow Skunk Artworks on Twitter or Instagram, you really should. And he's been sharing some phenomenal pages that he's working on for Kill Them Dead. They're looking gorgeous. His stuff is amazing. He's he's a machine. Because he's not only posting the Kill Them Dead stuff that he's working on, but all these other commissions and things that he's working on. The guy is a machine, and he shines a light on my art inadequacy, but I am so appreciative of Skunk Artworks and the hard work he puts in and the phenomenal art he's been creating for Kill Them Dead. We're also working with musicians to create the album. Tracks are coming. Like, we have one that's pretty much complete, and I'm going to be laying some vocals on that, so it's going to have Odin vocals. We're working with some other vocalists, and then Jacob, I can't remember his last name, but is composing the music, and then James and I are producing it. And we're also writing the story. It's a fun, exciting, crazy conceptually book that we're making, and we're super excited about it. So signups are on Kickstarter. I know some people avoid Kickstarter like the plague. I semi-understand it. I semi-don't at all understand it. Just go. You have to create a Kickstarter account, whatever. Just go sign up. And then James's book, Magnificent Bastards, fulfilled. And now we are... he's in signups for Volume 2. Or Issue 2. He doesn't call them volume. He calls them issues. Issue 2 of Magnificent Bastards sign-up is live now on Indiegogo, so even you people who hate Kickstarter for whatever reason can sign up for Magnificent Bastards on Indiegogo. Issue 2. And if you missed out on Magnificent Bastards, which is a fun, phenomenal... James is a fucking rock star. His last name, Rock. He's a rock star of a writer, and what he's doing with Magnificent Bastards is so much fun. It's insanity, but like controlled chaos in such a beautiful way. It's a great book. And if you missed out, you can back on the Unconditional Shove campaign, which is in demand right now until I pull it. You can back the black and white version, which features a great Chinatown homage cover that I did, by the way. You can back that now on the Unconditional Shove campaign, or you can wait and get those damn sloppy seconds on a catch-up tier for Magnificent Bastards #2. Either way, you didn't miss the boat entirely. You can get your copy one way or another. But if you missed the original color version, you're not going to get it unless you get the second chance. But you can get this very limited run black and white version. I think we've sold less than 10, so it's going to be extremely print run. So anybody who has those, you're going to have something that very, very few people in the world will have. I know it's not that big a deal because we're such small creators, but you never know. Like if all of a sudden Magnificent Bastards becomes a Netflix series. And I'm only saying that because James is a phenomenal writer, and what he's got there is something marketable. Or, if it becomes something bigger, then those 10 people, or however many it is, that backed that black and white Magnificent Bastards are going to have something that very few people in the world will have, and I think that's pretty cool. So that would be one reason to get the black and white. The other reason would be my awesome Chinatown homage cover. So anyway, that's kind of the rundown of news for Broken Compass Comics. We have so much other shit going on. We haven't forgot about Welcome to Horror House, which is the comedy sitcom puppet show that James and I are writing. And every time we hang out, we kind of like make a joke that's like referencing that we've been, and we always get the same thing, like, I want to be writing that again. It was a lot of fun because it was pure comedy. There was no like fantastic stuff. I mean, there was fantastic stuff, but it was just for comedy's sake. So when James and I get together and write, and we're writing just for comedy's sake, that is a lot of fun. So it'll be fun to get back to that. But priorities right now, we're getting Unconditional Shove out. When I have moments, I'm just writing on and drawing on Volume 2. And then when James and I write together, it's all Kill Them Dead right now. Plus working with a lot of different people to try to make this stuff happen. And as I said, as you know, I have a full-time job. And I'm working on moving across the country, so there's just a lot of plates to be spun. And hopefully I'm doing an okay job. But I really do, going through the girls' stuff today, I just want to get out there. It sucks being so far away. It feels very disconnected. It's driving me insane. So that's something it's such a heavy reality. Like I'm like, just want to tap it. I just want to teleport and be like, I moved. Hey, I'm in Missouri now. Just like that. But that's not how it works. I got to do what's got to do. And anyway, that's about all I got for now. I know I usually talk about Twilight Zone. I did finish every episode of every season of Twilight Zone. I was really close last video, and it's been 2 weeks, so I did finish them all. There was season 5 of Twilight Zone was the final season. The penultimate episode was one featuring a shirt that I wear. I don't know if I've wore it on any of my videos, but it's a Twilight Zone t-shirt that I have. It's got a giant alien with a big giant eyeball for a head. And then like a couple And that was a great episode. But the final episode of Twilight Zone Season 5, which is such a shame because it's the final Twilight Zone episode ever, was an absolute stinker in my opinion. Now the thing is, the story itself wasn't as bad as some other ones. But it features like two kids, and while they were recording all of the video footage, the audio was kind of messed up. There was some sound interference, planes flying over. I don't know what it was. But the sound wasn't good enough, so that they had to redo the voices. And they couldn't procure the girl who was the actor, this child actor. I guess she lived in like Alabama or something. So what they did was they dubbed a lady, an adult lady, pretending to be a kid, dubbed her voice over, and it throws you right out of anything you would have liked about the story is just gone. And everything feels dubbed because it was all dubbed, but the other ones weren't so bad. But that one girl where they got like a lady to do her voice, it was bad, and it really throws you out of the story. So like, no matter how good it, I mean, I guess in some senses it's a good thing it was a shitty story, because if it would have been a good story, that would have been a worse crime, I guess. But it's just sad that was the last Twilight Zone episode. They're like, yeah, we'll just do what we got to do. It's not ideal, but that's what we're doing. So that was a very big letdown to like this entire run, this entire series you would want. And I know they didn't know that they were going to be canceled and they would never make another episode. Or they probably would have like tried to go out on a bigger bang. I don't know. But the episode itself wasn't very strong, and it was made worse, way worse, by the dubbing. So it's sad. Now that said, Twilight Zone, I've got through all of them. I've talked about them on my channel here to anyone who would listen to me talk. And what that series means to me can't be like fully articulated. Like, my love for strange, sci-fi, creepy, horror, all that stuff, it's hard to be able to pinpoint it on any specific thing. It's a conglomeration of things. I think if I could pinpoint it on anything, it was seeing The Thing when I was like 5 years old or 4 years old or however old I was, when I woke up in the middle at the drive-in to seeing a head falling off a counter and turning into a spider and running away. A human head like growing spider legs and running away. Or a guy getting defibrillated and then like a head growing out of his belly. Like, seeing that as a little kid, that was probably the most definitive thing as far as like my love for the strange kind of stories. But Twilight Zone holds a very strong influence in all of that. So good, bad, or otherwise, like, Twilight Zone's kind of like fishing. You know, the old expression, a bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work. A bad episode of Twilight Zone is better than most things I'll watch nowadays. So, and there was some real stinkers, but because of the format and the style and the presentation, and Rod Serling smoking a cigarette and the music, it didn't matter. You know, they put up some stinkers. But what they did, like, probably will never, ever fully be recaptured. Because nowadays we have so much ability to create special effects, not only, you know, practical effects, but also CGI and everything, that we're very unlimited by what we're able to do. But because of that, we lose something. What Twilight Zone had to rely on was this kind of narrative carousel that they have to take you on, which you don't have to worry about as much anymore. And because of that, they focused on really good twists and morality, and drawing on experiences that are common to everybody, because you can't just like throw a bunch of special effects and make it make sense to everyone. So because of that, we'll never see anything like it again. And that's the same to be said about a lot of older films and movies, because they had to rely on things that we don't even have to worry about anymore. And we're able to do things nowadays that they could only imagine or dream of. And I imagine some of these people who worked so hard to create some of these crazy effects are rolling over in their grave thinking that we have all the ability in the world to like take somebody from a human being and morph them into the werewolf, or something like that. You look at like the old Wolfman stuff, and it's like they'll show the hair grow in like increments, because that's all they could do. They couldn't like manufacture actually morphing. And now through CGI and even through practical effects, they were able to like make things morph. Like you literally watch somebody transform into a werewolf right before your eyes, and we take that for granted because it is granted nowadays. But I go, with all that ability, where's the other stuff that was so meaty and weighty that the older filmmakers had and the older creators had? That's my 2 cents. But real quick, before I sound off, I want to say I've been incredibly fortunate to be surrounded by some very awesome people. So we'll start through the list. We'll just start in general. Like all the people I've met through like streaming and other creators and people like that. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been really cool. I know I've been kind of aloof on streams and things like that. I haven't done it as much as I used to. But everybody I've come across and like hung out with on streams, like you guys are like a part of my story. You're very important to me, and I appreciate that you were a part of my story. And I miss, if I don't do it that much anymore, I miss it. But I also, I've just got so much going on. But this journey this past year, getting to know so many other artists and creators, and it's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate all of you. It's just really cool to meet all over the world so many cool people. And then real quick, I want to thank Abra from Abra's 2 Cents. If you don't follow her on Twitter, subscribe to her YouTube. She does great reviews, very professional, concise. They have their commentary. She has her own commentary, but she does it in such a very professional, palatable way, and palatable and palpable. Abra's 2 Cents also worked very hard on the trailer for Unconditional Shove Volume 1, which turned out great. I always got so many compliments on it, and I kept throwing it out there at the beginning. I did a lot less lately, but I haven't been on as many streams lately. But if anybody's looking for somebody for trailer work, she did a great job. She just killed it, and very grateful for all the work she did. She kicked ass. And then Demir Rosic, who did all the color work for Unconditional Shove Volume 1. It's been a lot of fun. Like, we've kind of grown together because we're both kind of coming from relative obscurity and just saying, like, we want to do this is what we do, and that's why I found him. I'm like, I could hire a big name colorist and pay a lot more money, or I can find somebody young and up and coming that I believe in and work with him. And like, it was a lot of fun. And Demir, a humble young man, like, really works hard at his craft, and just he was a delight to work with, always on top of things. And so I was very blessed and fortunate to work with him. And then last on this campaign, the most important element has been James, who both professionally and personally, the relationship we have has meant a lot to me. We work together on so much stuff, and we have a lot of fun, and we are kindred spirits in a very dynamic way, because we are also very opposite in a lot of ways. So it's been nothing short of amazing. But he's been working hard on the letters. and editing, and his contribution to what I've been working on and making Shove, as successful as it has been has been. It's hard for me to put in words. It's very much appreciated, but his friendship and what we forged there is more important. That it's worth its weight in gold. So, so excited for the future of Broken Compass Comics and Unconditional Shove, Magnificent Bastards, Kill Them Dead, Welcome to Horror House. We've got a lot of cool things on the horizon. This year has been a lot of formulating, and I think next year is going to be a lot of producing. And so my biggest thing is getting to my new location, settling in. But man, once I get out there, I just want to hit the ground running. And that's all that's fit to print here with Odin Dasko. At the beginning, I almost said your friendly neighborhood Odin. I don't know if I've been as friendly lately. I've been under the gun on a lot of things. But I try to be. I try to be the friendly neighborhood Odin. But I do want everyone to know I appreciate if you've come across my path and we've had a moment or whatever, like been on streams, like it's part of my story, and I don't take that lightly as much as it might seem that way at sometimes, or it does mean a lot to me. And then wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever obstacles you're facing, I hope that you're facing them with power and courage, and above all integrity, but with kindness and love and care. But integrity being at the top. And wherever you're at with your story, just know if you're facing hardship, it's just a blip. It's just a moment. But just know that your entire life is just a blip and just a moment. Enjoy the hardships. Enjoy every second of it, because it's all you get. And you don't know when. You just get what you get. So make the most of it. If you're in a battle, fight hard. Fight dirty if you have to. Maintain integrity, though. Don't ever forget to maintain integrity. But fight if you got to. Learn to enjoy the battle. Everyone struggles with that. It's so hard in the moment to see the forest through the trees, but it is a very real thing that's always darkest before the dawn. I've seen it too many times in my life. So right now I'm feeling somewhat overwhelmed with everything I got going on, but I am also very hopeful, and I know it's always darkest before the dawn. So while you're in the shit, don't run from it. Don't cower. Don't turn into a pussy all of a sudden. Just know that if you fight it with courage, integrity, kindness, love, care, time will prove you right. So keep fighting the good fight. That's all I got for this week. Until next time, hope you're doing awesome and take care. This is Odin. We'll see you.